I am getting married in April at a small destination wedding with about 50 guests. My fiancé has a huge family. So yes, this is small and only includes family. The only friends we invited are part of our wedding party. My fiancé and I carefully plan the guest list, inviting only close family and friends, and even argued with our own parents about people we do not want to invite. Last week, after all payments for the trip were due, she is not paid. My maid of honor, MOH, told me, long story short, but man's name is going to come with me. She met this man just 4 to 5 weeks ago, and while I fully support her bringing someone to enjoy the trip with, I told her that if it's someone I don't know, e.g., him or a random girlfriend, they wouldn't be able to attend the wedding itself. This didn't sit well with her, and she pushed back hard, saying it's against her principles and morals to invite someone to the resort for a week, but hurt them by excluding them from the wedding. This is her number one argument, and where our conversation ended on agreeing to disagree. This is something she is not willing to budge on. She also argued, it's a 50-person wedding, so what's the big deal? If the wedding was local, we wouldn't have this issue. We would because we would still be firm on who attends our wedding. Other people get to bring their significant others. Why can't I? Everyone has been in a 2-plus-year relationship, and we have regularly met at family events. To clarify, her invitation did not include a +1, but she assumed she could bring someone regardless. My wedding website clearly states there are no +1s. She clearly missed that. When I explained that she doesn't have a +1, she doubled down, insisting this wasn't about him specifically and gaslighting me by claiming she never said she was bringing him. She tried to make me feel crazy, saying she only mentioned it was a possibility and that I keep making assumptions that he's the one she wants to bring. However, I have the text where she clearly said, long story short, but man's name is going to come with me. Her argument kept shifting, but her main point was that she couldn't, in good conscience, bring someone to the resort and exclude them from the wedding. She is not comfortable being at the resort alone, which I fully support and understand. However, she also said she'd bring anyone, not just this man, even a girlfriend, if it meant not being alone. This contradicts her own argument because no matter who she brings, if they aren't close family, e.g., her mom or brother, which I offered as options, they wouldn't attend the wedding. To make this work, I offered several compromises. I already crossed my boundaries by including her boyfriend, now ex, 1 year ago when invites went out, even though he caused a massive scene at my engagement party held in our backyard. They fought for hours in my bedroom, missing majority of the party, which my family was kind enough to not make me aware of as to not stress and involve me in this. But I noticed I haven't seen her for hours and went looking myself. I offered to include her family, her mom or brother, in the wedding so she wouldn't feel alone. I even offered to room with her for part of the trip. Instead of seeing this as a kind gesture, she insulted me, saying I must have relationship issues if I was okay with doing that. None of these compromises were enough for her. Another argument she made was that she and her guests should be allowed to attend the wedding because she was putting in effort by offering for me and my fiancé to meet him before the wedding. It's almost February, and the wedding is this April. But at the end of the day, this is my wedding, and I don't feel comfortable having a stranger present at such an intimate event. The timing of this whole situation is also frustrating. She was the only guest who hadn't paid her balance for the trip by the deadline. Payments were due last week, and I started gently reminding her as the deadline approached. She gave me multiple excuses, saying her credit card wasn't working and that she found a lower rate elsewhere, $1,500 versus the $1,800 balance she owed, after deposits were made for a rate secured 1.5 years ago. For context, the actual rate on the website now is $3,400, so I call BS, but that's just my opinion, and for her own sake, I really hope it's not a lie. I told her if the issue was just $300, I'd pay it for her because she is now past her payment due date and is risking being canceled. Her response? Well, if it gets canceled, it gets canceled. Only after all of these excuses did she say, long story short, but man's name is going to come with me? My response was, haha, I knew it. I just wish you told me instead of all that. Do I think it's a good idea? Not in the slightest. That's up to you whether you want to hear it or not. You can bring whoever you want on your vacation, but unfortunately, he will not be invited to the wedding. I hope you understand that. From here I got no answer and got ignored for the next 5 days. The only message after that was, I want an in-person conversation, where she started by telling me that message I sent was extremely rude, disrespectful, and offensive. I genuinely did not mean it to be. I know things get lost in translation with text, but please give me your opinion on that. At this point, I feel like she's using her frustration about not being allowed to bring a +1 as an excuse to pick a fight. She told me her compromise was taking work off to attend my bachelorette party and bridal shower. I planned all alone and were held during the weekend, events that are the bare minimum for a maid of honor. Am I supposed to praise her for doing something any friend would do, let alone someone in a major role in my wedding? Her ultimatum now is that if I don't let her bring this man, or as she strongly argued, could be a random friend, to the wedding, she won't come at all. And I am standing my ground on not inviting someone my fiancé and I do not feel comfortable with to our wedding. I've tried to think of ways to accommodate her and make her feel comfortable, but I also need to stand by the boundaries I've set for my wedding. Am I the A***hole here?